and then download it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Gina Badality, and today I am doing skills training on vendor events. And I have done probably about 7 or 8 now since in my 3 years at Pure Haven, and in fact just did one this weekend. So I'm going to share best tips and tricks for vendor events and everything you need to know um, to cover. Okay. So, first of all, when it comes to where vendor events are, there's really like three kinds of events. So the first one is it's literally a vendor event. It's just tables of vendors, and there's really not much else. There might be a food truck or something, but it's really just straight up vendor events. Um, these are usually for profit, so they might be 20, 30, $40. Um, there are some that are a lot higher, like Veg Fest is a very famous one, and that's a lot of money. So that's probably a very good customer fit, but it is very expensive. So you kind of have to judge it by that. And then some places have free ones. So I always love the free ones. The second of type is when it's more like a general event. So it's like one that I did was it was at a gym and they were doing sample classes, and here are vendors, relative vendors. Um, Another one I did was I have a integrative center by me, and they did like a Swedish spa night, in which they had a sauna and they have a salt bath and they do all this, and then they had vendors on the side. So that's kind of like an event-based one. Um, the third one I have not done. The third one is conferences, and there are some really great fit conferences for Pure Haven, but I kind of poked around at some conferences this year and they are super expensive. I mean, $1,000, $1,500, and that's like the base package. So if you have a friend you know, there's a certain conference that I have a friend I know that can get me in, and she will get me in. So if you have a friend you know, sometimes that'll work out. But I avoid the conferences just because you're if you invest $1,000, you're probably not going to make that back. So, so let's move on to I kind of have a philosophy of vendor events. I like to think of it as um, it's a day for me to just have nice day outside in the sunshine away from my family. A little break, to meet people in the community. And so I look at it like that, and that's why I keep my investment really low. I look at it like it's a me day. It's a meet friends. You can tell your friends to stop by, you meet new people. So vendor events are fun for that. They are not the biggest income drawing thing, but you can build relationships. That's one benefit. Another benefit is your community gets to know you, especially if you're there at every single time there's an event, XYZ, they see you, they start to recognize you. Um, and one of my best performing consultants I met at a vendor event. So it's not like you're not going to recruit. Um, but when you're picking vendor events, you need to make sure that whether it's event based or tables that are out, that it's an appropriate audience for you. So I find that if I do a generic, we've just got like 75 vendors coming to this thing. It's not really helpful. People are like overwhelmed. There's too many people there. It's not usually worth the investment. Whereas I do twice a year, I have Rodale Institute, which is an organic farm. So that's an excellent fit. They don't charge me anything. I have a table there twice a year. They have an event twice a year. And it's a very good fit because people are looking for clean and organic products. So that, you know, you want to judge, is this a good fit? Now, the gym event, that was something new. Gym event, I would say depends on the gym because at my personal gym, I had absolutely no luck having a table there. And it was also a very stormy night. So nobody stuck around. So pay attention to the weather forecast too. Um, but the one I did on Saturday actually went pretty well. Um, Partly it was because there was my person who booked me put food next to me, and people actually thought that was my food. And so they were coming over and eating the food and then looking at my products. So now I've learned a new trick. I'm going to bring food to future vendor events, just like a little snacky type thing. Um, but I thought it was good because it was Max Fitness. There were a lot of women. It was a gym that was more women. The sample classes included Zumba. Almost everybody who took Zumba was a woman. And people were coming out. Now, I accidentally, I always bring my skincare kit with me to vendor events, and I had forgotten my toner, which I could have cooled people down with the toner. So I won't make that mistake again. Let's go over like best practices for what's on your table and what's out there. So I have a standard folding table that we used to use for parties and things, a standard folding chair. So if you've got that equipment, um, bring it. Sometimes a vendor, like if you're doing like the integrative center. So if it's a center, they might have tables already and they might tell you, don't worry about your table, I've got something. So you want that. If you're going to do a real facial on someone rather than just a quick hand facial, you might want to bring a second chair so that people can sit down while you're doing it. Um, or you're probably going to be standing. So if you're going to bring your one chair, put it out so that people can sit on it if you're going to be doing a mini facial. Don't put it behind the table. So that's what you want there. You want I just went to the dollar store and bought the cheapest white tablecloth that I could find. Hopefully, some of you are on your way to winning a tablecloth. So that's great too, but I just use a plain white one. And the other things I put on the table include, so I bring the skincare, I bring out the Clear Up skincare. I actually only have two of those products, but so that they know. Um, and then I have a frame picture of one of the eye cream before and afters. I think it's the one with the time on how quick it is. Before and after for the Clear Up kit. That I put the teenager on that one because I know most people are asking about, is this good for my teen? So I like to put that picture. I put a USDA organic logo. So, and then if people ask about that, I say, well, we have an organic certified facility. That I literally just went on the internet, Googled it, and pulled up the image. And then I put usually two more. I will put maybe the skincare, the regular kit skincare before and after, and eczema. I have a eczema photo of a toddler, and it's like the process of like 2 or 3 days or however long he was on the Dream Cream, and how the eczema went away. So those are usually the pictures. Just go to dollar store or Walmart to buy the frames. And I print everything off my computer. I don't go to, I just cheap and easy. So the other thing, I always do a giveaway. So there's 3 things you can do for a giveaway. So I learned the hard way on Saturday. I had a spare product that was fresh and I was going to give that away. And people were actually like, oh, what are you giving away? This was at the gym. Usually people don't ask what they're giving away, but at the gym they did. And so I said, oh, I'm giving away this hand cream. And some lady walked off with it. I won't do that again. Usually what I do is I give away a facial. The only issue with that is certain events people drive far. So I did an event in the fall at the Rodale Institute, and I had people coming to the table who had literally driven from New Jersey, and further than that, and hours away. And I can't really offer them a facial. I'm not driving to New Jersey. Um, so you kind of want to be careful with that. And one of the really helpful tips is that I still use the ancient guest survey forms. Um, and what's great about that is it literally they put their stain on it. And I found that when you're giving away a product, you just give them this, they will fill everything out. Every now and then somebody says, "Do you need my phone number?" And I go, "Yeah, I need to contact you if you're a winner." So that's how I'll use your phone number. So then they'll usually fill it out, no problem. But I do that. I mean, they fill out all the front. A lot of people actually check the newsletter. So I think that's always really good just to keep you in mind. But what I do is then when they walk away, I make sure to write a note on the back. So sometimes the note will be what they liked on the table, what they tried, what they asked about. And sometimes if I can get a really good mental picture, I will put a little detail about, this was the mom with the baby, and she told me she had an adult son with autism. Like I'll go into a little more detail if I have time, just so I can kind of make that mental connection. And obviously anything that's relevant to Pure Haven, like she was pregnant, so you want to think about the baby kit and all that stuff. We have baby products. And then I put I usually bring a nice stack of the pocket guide, and that's where I put my information and my QR code. So those are the main things I have on the table. I think if I forgot anything else. I think, and then other products I bring. So it kind of really depends on the venue. So I might bring more additional skincare items so that they see we have more than just, and if they want to try like the soothing serum or the brightening serum, then I can give them a little try of that. And then I'll put other products. So we definitely put like super greens out there and a couple of I still have some mini cleaning products, maybe dog products. That's especially if I'm going to do the Rodale event, for example, a lot of people go to that with dogs. So you could put out you could put it on your table anytime, the dog products, because people are sometimes interested in that, but if it's a venue where people are bringing dogs, then that's really good. So I just want to give people an idea of what we have. I see people post their pictures. I don't do pretty. I just kind of put it out there. I just put it on the table. I don't buy little, if you can do the pretty thing, I'm like, I have no decor skills. Um, but I find that a lot of times people don't really like, they might come if it's really pretty, but um they probably will come over and be interested if you are just engaged with the people around you. So what I mean by that is when you've got people walking around, say hi, say how are you doing? When with the gym, when they were giving the sample classes, I would say, so how'd you like the class? And when they're walking by at Rodale, oh, I love your dog. Oh, you have a beautiful coat. I mean, because people wear like the most amazing things anyway. So I ask them, or if they're doing apple picking, oh, how was your, how'd you like it? So just engage with the people walking around you. It's a little different at an expo, a vendor where it's wall-to-wall vendors. It's not as easy because people have been talked to from everyone and they don't really want to hear it anymore. But if it's a more open, if there's only a few vendors, then really work to engage, or they're spaced out better, work to engage with them and ask them questions about themselves and their kids and all that. I think that is really the best way to do it, because if you start doing that, a lot more will come over and say, so what is this? So what do you have? Especially if it's like when I'm at the organic farm and I've got the organic logo on my counter. So then they know, like, why do you have that? So then they know that this is brand they can approach. So you also kind of want to do seasonal stuff too. So spring, summer, and fall, put bug off spray on your table. And if people are walking around you like this, go, hey, I've got some bug off spray. Do you want to try it? At the gym, I now know what I'm going to bring to the next event, because they've invited me back for a different gym, and I'm going to bring toner to cool people down. I'm going to bring comfort oil. I'm going to bring a boo-boo stick and headache stick. And I always bring Dream Cream. A lot of times people want to try that. When I'm at Rodale, I'm not far from the food truck. So something good to bring is the Hands on the Go, because sometimes people they just ate their taco and they're like at a loss. So that's a good thing to put on your table too. And so toner, comfort oil, deodorant, headache stick, boo-boo stick, that's coming to the gym. Remember that summertime, also you might want to bring like Nemo and boo-boo stick too, in case people are getting bit, but definitely the bug spray, because that's really helpful. Yeah.
Suggestion, you can always put surface cleaner to the gym also.
Yeah, I did have it on the table.
Yeah.
But that's good. Even just mints. Oh, that's good. The body scrubs are good too. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Mints for people. But I think if after a workout, people are looking for like a little nut cluster type thing. That's always going big. The nut clusters and the Kind bars. I'm not going to buy Kind bars, but little nut clusters were perfect. Okay. And then I always have people, can you hear me? Okay. I always have the Dream Cream, especially when I do an event in the fall, because everybody's walking around and their hands are killing them, because they've been out at the Rodale event. They've been out, not just out in the cold, but they've been pulling apples and they've been carrying baskets, and not all, it's that time of year when they're not quite wearing gloves. And so I make sure that like everyone who passes the table who's going like this, do you want some Dream Cream? And then I tell them this is salve. And what's really great about that, I mean, I can't even tell you how many people are just fall in love with the scent. And then once they fall in love with the scent, you say, well, we've also got shampoo and soap, and that's not the only thing we have in that scent. And then they're always really curious. So that's it. That's the Dream Cream. Okay. So the other thing, I bring order forms, but I've never really had anyone order like on the spot. But I've definitely, you want to call everybody within a day or two who gives you a slip. You want to offer them the prize. So you can do the gift certificate as prize too. That's what I'm going to do next time, is the gift certificate. And then if any, you can tell people, well, you didn't win the gift certificate, but if you're local, I would love to offer you to host a facial event. Okay. So next on my list is QR codes. So I know some of you are familiar with them and some of you are not. So the QR code is just this little code I have in the back. But what you can do is you can set up, what I tend to do is I just kind of test things. So sometimes I'll go and I'll just put a giant a reasonable size QR code in a frame, and it'll be click this link. And there's a million things you can do with QR codes. You can have the QR code, you can have them fill out a form and a QR code and it gets text messaged to you. You can link it to a Google Doc, right? So for example, we had the event last week with Miranda, and she had the Google Doc link. You can make a QR code to go to a Google Doc. You can make your own, a form that people fill out and complete for, just say, go to this code. You can have the code go to Circle. Actually, I just realized that. So I think the next event, I'll try a QR code for Circle so that it's more difficult to explain Circle and just get people there. Then if they just scan the code, they can go right there. You can, I wouldn't scan the code to go to the website. You could do that. But I've also just printed the name of the website. I think I use my code on the back of this to go to Linktree. And so instead of having the name of my website, I go shop non-toxic products made in the US. And so using Linktree, I can put a descriptive link there. So that's what I find is easier. I just feel like a lot of times if you're just giving out the link to the website, that not as many people are engaging with that unless they already know and want to buy, unless they're looking for Pure Haven. So I feel like, but you can use a QR code for different things, for Facebook, for Circle, for a contest, for collecting information. Okay, and so the most important thing, obviously, is the follow-up. That is, when you get home your tickets, usually the first thing I do, so I don't forget, is put in anyone who said yes to the newsletter in the newsletter. And then I'll, do a drawing, and the next day or two, I'll let everybody know this is what you won. You didn't win this, but here's your other option if you'd like to try. Oh, you asked about this. And you can ask them, can I keep you informed? I know you asked. So a lot of what you get is, I want to try this. This has been really popular this last 2 weeks, I feel like. I want to try your eye cream, but I'm still using mine. So, you want to ask people, okay, maybe I can get in touch with you, or maybe you want to earn our eye cream for free. We could host an event. We could do it, and then if they're far, you could do an online event. I don't like to do those as much. They're not as successful, but you can do that. So that's most everything. Now, the one thing that's kind of high tech that I actually did, and there's a caveat to this one. So I actually made a PowerPoint. I love making PowerPoint documents. So I made a PowerPoint document of the before and after pictures for the skincare and for the clear up system. And then I put up the laptop and I put it on a loop. So that's good, but it's not good for an outdoor event because people didn't really see it. So people had a hard time viewing it and drawing their attention to it because it was kind of an overcast. It just depends on the day. And now when I do an event, I use a tent. When I do an outdoor event, I always use a tent. Always bring a tent. Always, or you will get the nastiest sunburn. And if it rains, or if it doesn't rain, but it like sprinkles, a tent you can get. I got my tent at Dick's for like $59. And then I did a sale and a rebate, so it was actually cheaper than that. Just look for like coupon codes, discounts, rebates, whatever you got, to get the tent if you're going to do an outdoor event, because you definitely do not want to not have a tent. I see plenty of people out there without tents melting away, and it's not safe. So, and then I always forget this, but bring a snack for yourself and a bottle or a you know, a nice Pure Haven tumbler of water. Bring like an energy bar because it's kind of a long day. And then when you go home, make your significant other make you dinner. Because you're going to be tired and hungry, but you've been outside all day. Hopefully, you had beautiful weather. I always come out of these things feeling really rejuvenated and really good. It's a nice day in the sun, and like I said, you're interacting with the community, and you can get pretty good leads. You can get, you know, there's somebody looking for skincare all of a sudden. There's someone who's like, you know, I last time I did the Rodale event in the fall, I had a lot of like autism moms come to the table. And I was surprised because I didn't have my family with me. Nobody knew. And they just kept walking over that eczema uh photo. So you never know what it's gonna what kind of turnout and who's gonna be there. But so that is pretty much all my presentation. Does anyone have any question about vendor events or anything to add or problems they had or
So when these are all
I
done,
can't hear you.
oh, I think
No,
I'm
you're
on.
fine. Not
Can you
on
hear,
mute.
Oh,
Can hear
can you
you.
hear,
I can hear
can you
you.
hear me now?
I
I
could
can't hear you
before.
either. That's weird.
Gina, it's something with your headset.
Mhm.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. She can hear us.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when you're done with these, the
Yeah.
Did You Know brochure, are you going to, do you think you will be going to these? Or,
Maybe. Maybe.
okay, all right, because I don't have many more of these, and the last event that I did that, and I put a little coupon of 15% off
Oh, nice.
inside, and so far, I mean, I'm still doing the follow-ups
Uh-huh.
on that. So, but I'm thinking when we don't have these, you know, is this gonna be cost effective, I guess is my question,
Gotcha.
you
So
know?
how much are they? I know it's a
$5.
smaller pack.
$5 for
10.
10,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah. So, you know, that might be something when it comes to the leadership group, maybe we can come up with something
Mm-hmm.
for events, because I think events are getting more popular now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially this time of year.
Yes.
I really, yeah, you really gave some really good points on things to bring too, and
Mhm.
and the reasons to bring them. I really like that. And the tent, I didn't even think. I know Diane um uses a tent because she does a farmer's market, and
Uh-huh.
Roberta too. They use tents, but I
Yeah.
didn't think of that because I've only done one and it was inside. So that was
Mhm.
very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And here's the thing. On a sunny day, your shadow's going to move. You're going to be in the sun at some
yeah,
point, but you don't want, if it's a 6-hour day, you don't want to be 6 hours in the sun.
right,
You know,
right. It's not safe for the products
it's
too.
not, well, yeah.
Mhm.
It's not safe for you either.
For you,
It's
and right,
just
yeah.
very uncomfortable, and it's really going to be, you're just going to be like tired and dragged out, and you're going to want to go
Yeah,
home. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And the US DA organic logo, that's a
Mhm.
very good idea.
Mhm.
So that was really good. Writing notes about the person in the back. I don't
Mhm.
have those old questionnaires. I don't know if I still have those,
I
but
could send
um,
you. I don't know
yeah,
where I have it. I have a PDF somewhere, and yeah.
I probably have it like in one of my files, so I'll look for that. I just have the non-tox me. So that was really helpful.
Yeah,
And
I haven't even thought about the new ones. So I did make a Google form out of the new one for an online event I'm going to have later in the month, but I haven't thought about them yet.
okay,
So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it out there.
okay,
Maybe I'll
yeah,
put each and see what people like
gravitate,
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was very good. Thank you very much. That's
You're
all.
welcome. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is that when I was talking about the costly events,
Yes.
so Allentown, PA is doing its first Veg Fest. I don't know if it's connected to the actual Veg Fest or it's their own thing. It could be either. But they actually charge $100 for a table and $35 that you have to sign up with the Allentown Chamber board. It's not the chamber, it's some business fee. And then you need insurance. And
Wow.
fine events, you don't need insurance.
Yeah,
I
I didn't think of
actually
that.
I was talking to Roberta about the insurance, and it's not that terrible, but it's really if you're going to do a lot of events, because
Mhm.
well, I don't really want to carry insurance if I'm doing 3 of
Right.
these a year, or 4.
Yeah,
Um, if
yeah.
I went more than that, then, I didn't even really want to spend $135 for Veg Fest. And then I
Yeah,
saw something that things had to be vegan, and I'm like, okay, well, no, if everything has to be vegan, that doesn't make sense. So,
right. The last one I did was $200, but they gave
mhm.
us a table and 2 chairs, and I had to sign a contract. So
Uh-huh,
the
uh-huh.
contract had to be very specific as to what I was doing, if I was gonna do
Gotcha.
any handles. So that kind of covered the insurance part of it through them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that was good,
Oh,
but
that
yeah,
is
I
good.
don't think I would do more than, I don't think I would pay 200 again. Um,
Right. I mean, and
so,
if they let you split, if you had
yeah,
someone
that's an
you
idea.
could, but then you kind of have to, it's a little when you're working with someone at the same time, you have to figure out how you're splitting the leads, and that's a little confusing.
Yeah, right. Yes. So I'm
Yeah.
done. I don't want
And
to.
the last time I shared a table with someone, she came like so much later, and she doesn't actually sell, but she's really good at it. I don't know why she does it. She's put off and she doesn't come to trainings or anything, but she was actually amazing at it, but she had come so late and I was like really tired by them. And then I said we had split the leads 50-50, so I kind of had to give her half, even though she came really late. Like, what was I going to do? I wasn't going to be a jerk.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't her fault she was late either.
Mhm.
So what was I going to do? So it gets really complicated if you have to, like, you really have to
Split.
sit down and have a Zoom meeting if you're going to have 3 or 4 people and figure out we're going to do shifts or whatever.
Mhm.
Like if you were going to do a couple of day event, then it makes sense for a multi-day event. You were saying something, Svet, and I'm sorry I didn't hear you because my volume.
No, I was talking to Judy.
Oh,
We could hear her. It's something that
sorry.
Beth suggested
Yeah.
when you're doing the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you have under you can make that decision under 10, under 15, not too many people sign up or put their name on your list.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually contact every single one of them. It's like, hey, you won the facial.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That's
Mhm.
true.
get a couple of people together and
That's true.
can come over, whatever. So
Mhm.
just make sure they're not like related. Or you can say ahead of time, hey, you know what? If like under so many people sign up, like, I might just consider making everybody a winner.
I actually I like that idea, but that works if nobody asks what the
What
giveaway
the,
is. Because if and everybody at the gym, everyone asks. Everyone
yeah.
asks. And when I said it was
Uh-huh.
a product, they were all like, "Oh, okay." So I thought, and now I have to go buy the products, and it stinks because it was the apricot mango lotion I had the spare of, and now I can't get it. And I'm like, okay, I have to give them the lavender, I guess. But I think what I'll do next time is the gift certificate, and then one
Uh-huh.
person wins the gift certificate, and then everybody else gets the facial.
That's
And
a
I
good
can
idea.
say
I
you
like
you
that.
actually won the backup prize or
Right.
something like that. You know, you didn't win the
Yeah.
grand prize.
Because I had it
Yeah.
on mine, like, sign up, win a free facial with friends.
Right. Right. Oh, that's
That's
good. I
nice.
like
I like that.
that way.
Or like a
Good
foot
tip.
spa, like something along those lines where,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least that will give the lead into a gathering.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Wouldn't
and
it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Or, what's the book we're reading? What if?
Have you thought about?
Have you ever thought
I
about?
was gonna say that.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's true.
Mhm. This was great. Thank you,
Thank
Gina. I
you.
got a
You're
lot of good ideas.
good.
And good insight. And I think, like with everything else, I think with every event, you learn something about what
Yeah,
you want to do different for the next one. Is that,
absolutely.
yeah. It's
Absolutely.
like if with every gathering, you always learn something about the next time, the next
Right.
step,
Right.
there's always
Yeah,
a
I
take
mean,
home.
right. And
Mhm.
it was a good, I go to a boot camp gym. That wasn't the right vibe, but a gym, it's like 50% women and they have all kinds of classes. They have, like I said, they have spin and Zumba and step classes and things like that. That's a more and actually this gym had a number of older people there. So
Mhm.
that's also kind of a vibe too. Like
Yeah.
it was a good fit for a lady came over and she tried the eye cream and then she left and then she came back and she's like, I can really feel it tightening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it was a small crowd, but like I said, it was the first time they had done this kind of event. So it was new for them too.
Yeah.
And the coordinator was really happy and invited me back and she wants to buy products and all this stuff. So it turned out good for me and it's good opportunity and it was just a fun day.
Yeah.
I also learned I didn't dress for the gym because I hadn't done the laundry. um, but next time I'm going to dress for the gym. I'm gonna wear gym gear. So, and I mean, it's funny to say, but dress appropriately.
Yeah.
Not just like the gym gear, but also like bring a sweater. Like
Mhm.
even if it's a summer day event, you never know when that wicked wind's going to come in.
Yeah.
Up here in Pennsylvania, anyway, you never know when. Just bring a jacket or bring raincoat or something like that because it's going to get chilly. If you're doing a thing in the fall, bring like a sweatshirt, bring a
Mhm.
thicker, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't always think about that stuff.
I have a little tip because we kind of experienced a windy day. So we had waiters. Some of the tents don't come with waiters. So that's a good
Right,
thing to
right.
do because
Yeah,
they're not
Yeah,
always
that's a good idea. Mhm.
And
yeah.
then another thing is maybe bring, you know how you can get the canopies, the black canopies. You
Oh,
might want to use block out the sun.
Oh,
Block,
you broke
you
up.
know what I
I'm
mean? Either
sorry.
that or the
Did she
side.
say canopy?
I don't know.
Yes,
You
you're
broke.
freezing up.
Yeah, you're freezing up.
Oh, my phone is dying.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh.
Some
What'd
people
you say?
drop a canopy on the side.
Canopy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To block the sun
Uh-huh.
from hitting inside the tent.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You can tie it.
too. Yeah. And that's another thing so I have from 3 years ago, I have my original presentation. So I can't use the presentation, but the presentation says Pure Haven on it. And then on one side I wrote giveaway and it's old and it's worse for wear, but like nobody knows that much when you're outside. They notice it more when you're inside, but it no longer stands. And that's a good thing that you mentioned windy days because
Mhm.
those cheap little frames don't always
Yes.
stand properly. And so think
Okay,
about
I have trouble.
things, yeah, like
Yeah. To weight
I've
down.
had to put
Wait.
stuff in the back of I had to put stuff in the skincare bag.
uh-huh.
So it didn't
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going over.
Right, right.
It was hard to do that.
I did one where I give away a candle, and when I wasn't displaying the candle, I was using the candle to hold the presentation. And that's what I do with I use the hand cream that I was giving away to hold the presentation up. So, bring little like weight type things if you have them. That's one I always forget. I always forget that until the wind blows and I go, oh, why didn't I think of that? To
You
hold
guys,
stuff
are we doing
down.
the Meet Pure Haven again?
We are.
Yeah,
Well,
we-
corporate does that like every other week.
Oh, yeah.
Monday?
Yeah, not.
All right, so I'm going to turn off record if there's no more
Okay.
questions about vendor stuff.
I'm good. I think this is very
Okay.
helpful. And you're gonna, so
you.
you're gonna put this in
Mhm.
circle
Yeah.
to go over it, 'cause I'll probably
Yeah.
want to rewatch it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gina, very much. It's good to
You're
be on
welcome.
with everyone.
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right.